Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
That's fine. I'm still figuring this out anyway.
Settings. Oh, I did that. Uh, After these messages, we'll be right back. So let me guess. For it to record for us, we have to pay for it. That's what it's saying, right?
That's what it sounds like. You do test runs.
Exactly.
Mollyana, where are you going? What are you doing?
Nope.
No?
I can't get into the chat.
I can handle that. So.
Hold on. Say something.
Hello.
Coming through the speakers of my computer when I really want it just to be coming through my headphone speakers. I wonder.
I do. Who wrote
Who wrote the book?
So we try something
if that's
and Kevin has technical issues.
Well,
What?
good.
Mike, your soundboard sounds a lot better this week.
I'm wondering if it's this program.
Yeah.
Could be. Well, that's my tablet connected to my soundboard. My soundboard.
You corned beef drinking motherfucker.
Yeah, sounds much better.
Wow, was that you, Lee?
That was mine.
That sounded. I could hear that one. Yours sounds a lot better this week too.
So I just paid for it to do the recording thing, but you can't start recording once the stream has started.
Oh.
And if I end the stream now, it's going to destroy the link for the chat.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm going to let it run because it is uploading to YouTube as we're recording it. So I can go into YouTube afterwards and just download the video from YouTube and edit that.
YouTube.
So, hopefully.
Oi.
Yes.
Stop chewing on the
Fermentation. Episode 142. Sci-fi movies that get it right. Live. Right on YouTube.
For now.
For now, we're live.
For now, we're live.
Live and unedited.
We have one live viewer. That's me. I have YouTube up on my other screen here so I can see what it looks like. I gotta turn the sound off though; it's like coming through double. So I figured I told anybody who wants to join us that we're not going live till 7:45 because I figured that would give us time to kind of go over shit before we get started.
Why are we going to start that now?
What?
Going over shit before we start.
How the ad reads? Are we going to get ad reads in the middle of our live show, or?
So what I'm gonna do is the Coffee Brothers one. I'm just gonna put it at the beginning of the show, because I'm gonna have to edit it to add like the title screen in and all that because I'm using this for the first time, so I'm not sure how to do that in the program. I just wanted to see what it was like using it. So
couldn't you save them as a file on your soundboard and then just play them when you wanted to?
The ads,
yeah.
I could, but with this program that we're trying tonight, I can actually insert the video like into it as we're recording live. I just don't know how to do that yet because I haven't tried it before. So, but we can potentially just like put the ad in, and then later on, I don't have to edit anything; it'll already be there.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, what I think we'll do is before we get to the main segment, we'll take a break like we normally do. And if you guys need to like, go get a drink or use the restroom or whatever, I'll stay on and just like go through the chat if there's anybody on chat or whatever, or just like wing it a little bit. And then when I edit the program tomorrow or Saturday, whenever I get a chance to do it, I'll throw the ads in.
Yo, give it a rest. We're not dealing with this the whole time. We're going live tonight, Missy.
Kevin, you have beer news that is good news tonight?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I sent him the AC thing.
Molly.
If we wanted to do that.
The what?
What's that?
The AC thing. I sent you that.
Yeah. I may mention that because tickets go on sale already for the AC thing. There's also beer for Lent, and the head of the Boston Beer Company is stepping down because of severe losses. So,
and as far as the main segment goes, I picked out 5 movies from the lists that I sent you that were like my choices for scientifically accurate sci-fi films.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even taken a look at that.
I was gonna say, like, if you want me to just like add to what I already have there, or if you want to like look at them real quick and come up with your own thing, it's fine. But I mean, I went through the lists pretty extensively anyway, so I'm sure I can bullshit my way through it. So
Star Trek's not on the list? What?
Yo, look, man, if you think of all the things that we've now created that Star Trek kind of guessed at, stop it, Molly.
They guessed at it and used technobabble. It wasn't necessarily.
But I guess that's more the TV show than the movies, huh?
But I'm thinking communicators, the pads. Molly, you're going to go downstairs. You have.
Those were live. She wants to make her film debut.
She's chilling on a chair mat, and she's had the shits for 3 days. I don't need her eating anything else that's going to aggravate her stomach. I mean it, Molly. You stop. Anyway,
so, I don't know if anybody's going to join the chat. I really don't care if they do or not. I just wanted to put it out there and see. And then I figured test out the platform, and then because I tested out the chat earlier with one of my alternate accounts, and it seemed to work. So if anybody signs on, great. If not, I figure next time around that we decide to use this to do a live show.
Excuse me 1 second.
We announce.
We're done. Come on, you're out. Go see mommy. Tell mommy that you're being a bad girl.
I'm confused. I just looked at the Screen Rants, the 15th surprising accurate movies. How is Finding Nemo in that?
I think it's something to do with like the accuracy with the different areas of the ocean. Like, when they get to the deep ocean, they meet the angler fish. There's the Gulf Stream in Australia and all that stuff.
Okay. That's
Plus
not what
the like the anatomy of the fish is pretty accurate, aside from like the human eyes. It explains it in the things. The one that got me on one of the lists, they had Apollo 13 on there, and I'm like, we can't use that because it's science. That actually fucking happened. Unless you're one of those people who think the moon landing is fake. So I figured if we decide to do this again down the road, do a live episode, we can announce it in advance so people know when we're coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of threw it out there at like 4:00 this afternoon. So,
but one
as
link
I'm getting a service call to go down from Fort Washington to fucking the city.
The movie web link he gave me keeps wanting to shut down.
You don't have to use all of them.
No. I mean, I'm just trying to bring them up so I can sound educated, informed, even.
I sent Kevin a picture of what the new Crow is going to look like, and he was not happy.
Dude, he looks like a drug dealing farmhand. He's just he looks horrible. I think your depiction or your description rather suits it best. He looks like the Jared Leto version of the Crow.
Yeah,
Jared Leto's Joker version of the Crow. He's horrible. He's got a tattoo of somebody on his chest with the nipple being an eye, and he's got a faux hawk kind of thing going on. It looks bad.
We are 1 minute till showtime, essentially, since that's when I told people we were going live. So no one has joined the chat so far. Exterminate. Was that exterminate? Was that the
Molly is not happy? It's a dialect. Yeah.
No, I had to kick her out of the room.
Kinky.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hey, Finding Nemo is surprisingly accurate, guys.
That's what Mike just said.
It's on 2 lists.
You can read the descriptions there.
Couldn't you consider, what was that one with Dustin Hoffman, Cuba Gooding Jr., Rene Russo?
Outbreak.
Outbreak.
Outbreak. That's
Outbreak.
Also sci-fi, right? But really
accurate? I would say so, yeah. Because
Okay.
it's about a pandemic that was, it wasn't like a real event. It wasn't 2020.
I see the Andromeda strain popping up, and I'm like, well, the other one is
that's
probably
a pandemic related movie as well.
Yeah.
No, even Contagion. So like Outbreak and Contagion are both, films like that. You don't have to use the list. I just was
no.
throwing them up there as like research.
I'm totally blaming you for all this.
Totally. Yeah, I'm used to taking the blame.
Hey, what was the final tally for Saturday?
For Quizzo?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
funny
lost.
story. So I was walking up to the front door Monday morning, and the principal was outside, and I was waiting for her to like gloat because her team won.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked up to her, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" She goes, "Hey, was it just me, or was that whose net worth is greater category total bullshit?" She goes, "That and the one like the who or what came first one." She goes, "Those were horrible." I was like, "Oh, I'm glad you agree." I said, "Because we thought it was more like Pictionary than Quizzo because there wasn't as many questions." And she agreed with that too. She's like, yeah, I know. She goes, I felt like it was less a Quizzo this year than normal. So she was kind of like on my side with everything. And then she said that the point totals, like our team and her team, were pretty close in points towards the end. The reason they won is they bet everything on that bonus round and got it right.
Yeah.
So like they kind of lucked out there.
And we bet nothing and got it wrong.
We bet nothing and we got one. We had one. If we had gotten that one changed and then bet everything, we would have won probably, or at least came close to it.
That was the Versace, right? Everything else kind of lined up.
One. Yeah, everything else was kind of good.
Yeah.
And it's for a good cause.
That's what we got.
That's where we started with. How much did that end up raking in for you?
Over $6,000.
That's great.
Yeah, towards the new lab. Oh, she also said that too. I told her the Dracula Frankenstein question was unfair because it was the book and we thought it was the movie.
Yeah.
And she went. Oh yeah. She said her husband said the same thing. He was a little aggravated by that question too because it wasn't clear. I said, so I told her.
Telling the points wasn't clear at the beginning either.
Yeah, it was just total. It was a mess. They hadn't done it in a few years, so I think they were like kind of out of practice. I told her if you do it again next year, I have an idea for the music round. Do the misheard song lyrics. So you have, I said I'll even do it if you want. I'll get up and I will sing the misheard song lyrics, and then people have to write down the actual lyric. Also, Monday morning, she brought the coffee basket in that she won and put it in the faculty room and said it's for everyone.
Not the bourbon.
Not the bourbon. That went to somebody else anyway.
She
didn't get the bourbon. She got the coffee and she got, I think it was like the spa gift card or something like that. So she put the coffee in the faculty room and I got to have some of the dark roast Jamaican blend. It was really good. Yeah,
I'm here.
So we've been live now for 5 minutes.
Hi everybody.
With the comments
seeing you here.
And nobody's in the comments yet.
Well, nobody's in the comments. Can we see if people are watching us and thinking that?
If I go on YouTube, I can see that we have one person watching us, and that's me.
Who the hell are these morons?
I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we should give this like another minute or two, and then just switch over to Glip to make sure that it's actually recording before we go through the process.
See it's live on. Yeah, but it's not.
I mean, it is live on YouTube.
I'm
and
look it up on my phone. Actually,
it will save to my YouTube account because I have a button here that lets me edit the video. So, I mean, we can stay here for now and just let it go and see what happens.
Let me see. Films and fermentation. Guys, we also have a website. We should probably put the YouTube link on the website.
It is.
It is?
There's actual YouTube videos on the website.
Oh, I see us live. It is. There's actual YouTube videos on the website. Oh.
Yeah, it's like a 5-second delay.
I can put my mouse over it and it's muted and I can see us moving and talking and everything.
Nope, we got 2 people watching us right now, Kevin and me.
Somebody didn't mute it.
Man, you motherfuckers rock. Hey, watch this. Kev, look at the screen. You can highlight people's comments and put them up on the screen.
That's pretty cool.
This is why I wanted to try this tonight. I was hoping people would sign in, but I mean, I think we just get started. If anybody signs in, they sign in. If not, at least we got to test the program out a little bit. And we'll next time around we'll make sure we announce it far in advance.
Works for me.
Hey everybody, welcome to Films and Fermentation Live.
It's alive. It's alive.
That's right. We are Films and Fermentation, a movie and alcohol podcast. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
He's Mike.
He's Mike.
I think he froze. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Yeah, I'm no, yeah, I'm something. I'm only catching every other word. So let me see if I can get some better. There we go. How's it now?
Sci-fi that got it right.
Let's try this again.
All right, let's do this again. Ready? Take two.
Yeah.
Live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Films and Fermentation, episode 142. Tonight, we are live. Live. That's right. We are Films and Fermentation, a movie and alcohol podcast. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
We are three friends who like to talk shit about movies while getting faced. In this episode 142, we're looking at sci-fi films that get it right. That's right. We're looking at some famous science fiction movies that have been proven, more or less, to be scientifically accurate. Big shocker, Finding Nemo's on multiple lists.
It is.
Yeah. Don't forget to drop us an email at filmsandfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation to find all of our social media and podcast links. We also have a website, filmsandfermentation.weebly.com. Become part of the Films and Got that, Kev? Yeah.
www.
Become part of the Films and Fermentation family by supporting us on Patreon or buying some of our merchandise at teespring.com. We are now part of the Deluxe Edition Network. You can find out more about us and the other podcasts at The Den by going to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Make sure you check out our podcast and our fellow podcast of the month, Friends Talking Nerdy. It's the last time I'm going to be able to say that because it is February 29th as we are recording this episode, and we're going to have some new podcasts of the month in the next couple days. We'll be right back after this brief message from Coffee Brothers. I'm just doing things normally as I would since we don't have anybody on the chat yet. So
After these messages, we'll be right.
We'll be right back. So what are we drinking this evening, gentlemen? I know Mike is not drinking because he is on call, unfortunately. So you're drinking, I'm assuming, iced tea?
Nope. Redneck coffee.
Redneck coffee! You haven't drank Mountain Dew in a while.
That's been that kind of a day.
And that kind of a day. I always tease Mike because he would drink it all the time back in the day, and we called it redneck coffee.
The
It's
secret
really
of the use, it always looks like the Ninja Turtle stuff, you know?
Mountain Dew. Yeah, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Backwoods Bastard by Founders. There we go. Backwoods Bastard by Founders. It is a barrel-aged bourbon beer. Let me see if I can elaborate a little bit more. This is expect lovely warm smells of single malt Scotch, oaky bourbon barrels, smoke, sweet caramel, and roasted malts. A bit of an earthy spice and a citronella. No, that can't be citronella. Hold on. Scintilla of dark fruit.
Ain't no mosquito's gonna fuck with him.
I'm gonna give it malaria. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. It was bottled on September 12th of 2023, and it's 11% alcohol by volume. So that's what I'm starting with. And I have my follow-up can of Blank Brewing, a quarter for the jukebox. I'm jonesing to hear Wind Beneath My Wings.
I am waiting to see how long it takes Kevin to see the message on the screen.
I saw it. Oatmeal stout with vanilla. Yeah. And this is 6% alcohol. So that's my second. So let me. Oh, that's thick as shit.
Since we are talking about
Pretty
sci-fi
good.
films tonight, and in honor of the release of Dune Part 2 in the next few days,
But
I decided that the spice must flow tonight. So I am drinking some Old Smoky cinnamon moonshine on the rocks.
nice.
The spice must flow.
Whoa. The sandworms are horrible around here. Wait, that's Beetlejuice.
You've been to Saturn? I've been to Saturn. Wow. Anything happened this week?
Well, yes.
Thank you for clarifying that, of course.
yes, it has.
Yeah,
That's
something
you.
had happened. Shit happened.
one
I woke
thing-
up, it rained.
One thing that's not on my list that I saw yesterday, I didn't put it on there, is another RIP to Virgil.
Oh, Virgil, the $1 Million Man's manager in LA. Yes, I saw that today.
Yesterday. Yeah, he passed away yesterday.
Mhm.
So let's get into the sad part of business. So, rest in peace, Ole Anderson. Anderson was a founding member of the influential stable, the Four Horsemen. Died Monday, 2/26 at age 81.
His brother of Arn Anderson,
Fake brother, but
fake brother, but
Any
yeah,
relation to Louis Anderson?
no,
No.
he's the Toda.
Yeah.
That's-
R.I.P. to actor / stand-up comedian Richard Lewis, best known for roles in Curb Your Enthusiasm and Robin Hood Men in Tights. He passed away at age 76 on Wednesday, February 28th.
I have a mole.
Yes, that was him. He was Prince John.
You changed it to shithouse? To the used to be shithouse.
Used to be
Good
shit.
Shit house.
Good change. Good change. In 1940, the 12th Academy Awards, Gone with the Wind wins 8 Oscars, one being for Hattie McDaniel, becomes the first African American woman to win an Oscar.
And I think I know I've talked about this before that in 1940 the audience members were still segregated, so Hattie McDaniel had to leave a separate annexed room to enter into the room where the awards were being given to receive her Oscar, only to leave and go back to the segregated room again.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds like 1940.
Sounds about wrong, Mike.
No, I'm talking about for the
About for the time.
I know. I'm busting your stones.
I know. So let's see where we're at. In 1953, after an all-night movie and dinner session with his top advisors, Joseph Stalin suffers a stroke and collapses. He dies 4 days later. That's some good news, boys.
Yeah. Sad that it was after an all-night movie and dinner session, though. In slightly related news, a very funny film that I suggest everyone give a shot is The Death of Stalin.
Oh, that's
which
a great one.
It's a really funny film. It's a
Yeah.
satire of Stalin's last days and how his advisors are all fighting for the position of leader of the country after his death.
I love Jason Isaacs' reveal of his uniform, where it's essentially just a whole plate full of medals and everything. Yeah,
I like Steve Buscemi is really good in it.
Yeah.
What else we got there, Mike?
1978, Charlie Chaplin's coffin and remains are stolen from a Swiss cemetery as an extortion plot. There's some fucked up news this week, guys. I'm just saying.
It's like a weird one, man. I'm assuming they got them back.
I would assume.
I didn't know much about the story, so it was a year after I was born. And the last one is the fact that I really like.
Yes. In 1983, the final TV episode of MASH, a 2-hour special directed by series star Alan Alda, titled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, airs on CBS, recorded 125 million watches in the U.S.
It is still the highest rated single episode of a TV show of all time. Now, MASH is my favorite TV show ever. Like I love MASH.
What do you think compared to the movie?
I like the movie a lot, but you can't watch them as you have to watch them as separate entities.
Them as separate things.
Yeah, like because they're not the same at all. Like the TV show veered very far from where the movie went in terms of the message and the comedy and all that. I like them both, but I'm a really big fan of the TV show.
Yeah.
Mike, you have any must-try beer or craft destinations for this evening?
I have a beer destination. Here it is. Fox Farm Brewery in Music Vale Road in Salem. This brewery is located on a beautiful 30-acre farm, focuses on hop forward ales, lagers, and farmhouse beers, though they also make spontaneously fermented sour beers. They brew with fruit grown on the farm and age many of their offerings in barrels. Make a reservation to visit their tasting room or pick up a fresh beer to go with curbside pickup.
Is that Salem, Massachusetts, there, Michael?
No, Connecticut.
Oh, thank you.
I am currently posting again that we are live right now, so people can feel free to come and join us if they'd like. We'd love to hear from you.
They weren't listening to us before. They wouldn't have heard that.
No, I just posted it on Twitter.
Oh, good. Good.
I'm on the socials, posting it to the interwebs.
X that shit out, would you?
Next time we do this, we should probably announce it on our podcast that we're going to start.
Well, like I said, tonight was just a test run, so if people join, they join. If not, whatever. I'm thinking of doing this. Maybe we should save this for like episode 150. Like because that's like a monumental number to reach. So
we got time to build it up, huh?
Time to build it up, and I can start advertising it now, and then maybe people will join.
It'll be beginning of summer, right? 8 more episodes. That's 2 more months. That's May-ish.
May-ish, yeah.
May-ish.
We're gonna probably take a break the week after Easter for personal reasons. So, think about it, Mike.
Think about
it. I know.
You look like Molly.
So maybe we'll save it for for episode 150. Kev said he has some news for us, so time for beer news is good news.
Hello, gentlemen. We got some stuff. Mike, I asked you whether that was Salem, Massachusetts or not, because I have some news regarding the Boston Beer Company and its leadership following a reported loss of $18.1 million over a 3-month span. The Boston Beer Company is losing its current leadership. So David A. Berwick, President and Chief Executive Officer of Boston Beer Company, has decided to step down from his position. His departure will be effective as of March 31st of 2024. There is no information as to who will be stepping up as the leader of the Boston Beer Company. Oh man, that gives me the whole document. Sorry about that. Trying to skim. It's giving me the whole legal thing.
Blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. I don't know whether or not this will affect one of Lee's favorite breweries, which would be Sam Adams. I don't know if that falls under the Boston Beer Company's umbrella. Forget this. Anyway, sorry. The whole legal document continues to go on. Additionally, in beer news, those of us who are making sacrifices for Lent, the Diocese of Scranton, Pennsylvania's 40 Days Brews helps to feed the homeless. Many Catholics give up beer as part of their penitential rigors of Lent. One diocese is brewing it as part of... Thank you, Satan. One diocese is brewing it as part of Lenten tradition stretching back 400 years. The Diocese of Scranton, Pennsylvania has launched a beer collaboration with a local brewery to support its anti hunger programs for the homeless. The tradition of Lenten beer stretches back centuries. In Bavaria in the 17th century, Pauliner monks turned to a common staple of the time of their region, which was beer, to sustain them through their strict no solid food fast during the Lenten season. Pauliner is now a global brand and is among the best-selling beers in Germany. Ever hear of that one there, Michael?
Which beer?
Pauliner?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's where this comes from. In the spirit of the Pauliner Brewers, the Scranton Diocese on its Facebook page earlier this month shared that its 40 days beer collaboration with the local Breaker Brewing Company would be launching on Mardi Gras February 13th, so about 2 weeks ago. A Doppelbock, according to the craftbeer.com, is reminiscent of toasted bread, and it may include dark fruit flavors such as prune and raisin. Count me out, depending on the recipe used. Anyway, that's a brew that they've come up with for this Lent season from the Diocese of Scranton, Pennsylvania. And lastly,
pronounced Dunkel.
Dunkel?
Dunkel.
Dunkel? Dunkel?
Dunkel. Das ist ein Dunkelbier.
Yeah.
It's not a Doppelbock. It's a Dunkelbock.
Dunkel.
Dunkel.
Oh, I thought it was Doppelbock beer. Because I don't see an N anywhere in there. I thought Dunkel was Dunkel. Is that not correct?
I thought that was Duncan.
Oh, America runs on Duncan. I'm just talking about the beer. That's all.
Just the
beer.
Bakes a cake as tasty as a
Doppelbock beer. And something Mike shared with us earlier, the ACA Beer and Music Festival, I should say, is coming back to Atlantic City, New Jersey, April 12th and 13th at the Atlantic City Convention Center. Tickets are on sale now. Session 1 is Friday the 12th from 8 p.m. till 12 a.m. with Hot Mulligan. I'm guessing these are bands that are performing. Hot Mulligan is session 1. Saves the Day is session 2, which is Saturday the 13th from 12 till 4. And then Goldfinger is session 3, Saturday, April 13th from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. And I'm sure they'll have other entertainment as well. All festival attendees must be at least 21 years or older with a valid ID. Some of the breweries that seem to be participating are Cape May Brewing, Bolero Snort, Farmers and Bankers Brewing, Flying Fish. Well, I don't think that one's accurate.
Maybe they bought some of the stock before they sold it to everybody else.
Oh, ticketing events. They were holding ticketing events at these locations. Okay, so that was at Flying Fish on January 10th. Let me see if anything's coming up. Let's see. Wingcraft is holding a ticketing event on March 6th. Departed Souls on March 14th. Yards Brewing in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, March 20th. And Glasstown Brewing Company on March 27th. And they will not have Ticketmaster ticketing fees if you go to those locations for your tickets. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the website, acbeerfest.com. That's www.acbeerfest.com. They also have a website. But guys, did you know we have a website?
Really?
I did. I really did. I've known it since episode 1.
It's www.filmsandfermentation.weebly.com.
That's right. As Kevin said, it's filmsandfermentation.weebly.com.
Weebly, not backslash.
Weebly.
That shit.
I just, while you were reading your news, I was live on TikTok, letting people know that they can come listen to us. I dropped a few more hints on Twitter and Instagram. See if anybody wants to join us, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we have some notes from the last show. I thought it was weird that The Crow was announced as coming out in the next year because I didn't even realize it was in production. But then I found out that it is replacing a film that I was looking forward to, Ballerina, which is a John Wick spinoff starring the my heart and soul Ana de Armas. And I'm a little pissed off that that's being pushed to 2025. And The Crow is coming out instead. And we saw the production stills, Kevin and I, and Kevin is not happy.
No.
He looks like Jared Leto meets The Crow.
Yeah.
Jared Leto's Joker.
Man, if you're gonna redo it right. Go back to the original material, original content. Even look at that.
I've never read the graphic novel, so I don't know how accurate it is.
It's a wonderful graphic novel. And
what is the graphic novel drawing of The Crow more like the Brandon Lee?
No, to be honest with you, I mean it's dated. It's an 80s graphic novel. The characters look as if they're from the 80s, so he's got more of a spiked haircut and everything, but it does not look like, a meth head who just got reincarnated. So sorry.
But see, this is what Kevin said when he saw this.
I hated her so much. It flamed.
And the sun's
Breathing
breath.
Another note is a film that we didn't mention, and I don't remember seeing it on the Rotten Tomatoes list, and I'm shocked because it's coming out this year. It's October 4th, 2024. Joker 2.
I saw it on something, but not on that list. Yeah,
it was on the list we used, and so I'm a little angry that we missed that one, but that's coming out as well. Joker 2, Folie à Deux. So I had to look up what that meant because I'm not really a French speaker, but Folie à Deux means literally it means madness for two. It's a
picture look like there's going to be a Harley. So
so apparently it's a term used in psychiatry to describe a shared delusion. So since Harley Quinn is in this one, it's a fitting title then.
So what would we call if there's three of us sharing a delusion about being podcasters?
So that would be Folie à Trois. Or trois. It's a ménage à trois. Folie de trois. It's an ode de toilette. We don't have delusions of being podcasters. We are podcasters. We just have delusions of grandeur. I was hoping those 1,000 YouTube followers would turn into a couple commenters.
Maybe we would have had one more if I knew it was going through YouTube, because I did talk to Pat on the way home. Just through YouTube, I go, the fuck if I know? I didn't get any information about this in the last fucking minute.
Well, next time around we'll know. This is just a test. This is a test of the emergency podcast system. That takes us to Synopsis According to Glip. Synopsis According to Glip is brought to you by Newsly.me. Newsly.me is an audio super app for iOS and Android that reads the news to you in a natural human voice. Stop scrolling. Start listening. Go to Newsly.me today and use the promo code ANDFERMENT to get your first month premium subscription for free. Glip's synopsis, which we're not going to have next week since we're not using Glip tonight. Last week was our 2024 movie preview episode. And this is what Glip said it was all about. Kev, Man, and Mike discussed the new genre of film and decide to eat aliens.
Huh?
I can't explain that one. I have no idea what the fuck that one's talking about. Leo talks about the Black Bart show and the 80s episodes that still exist.
Yes.
That was, I did talk about that. Leo is spitballing because he is trying to think of other movies to watch. Leo found one called Gods of the Deep, and it had some of the worst acting and creature designs since Shatner fought the Gorn. Cabman and Leo discussed the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and how no one wants to see it. The hosts try to figure out which one is the Skarsgård in the film.
That was a long discussion for that part of it, yeah.
Kevman and Mike are discussing the movies they want to see, and if they have a day to go to the movies, they are discussing the next film that comes out.
Maybe we should just do an episode called Skarsgård. And just go
The-
completely Skarsgård.
No,
the
that's
best of Skarsgård.
that's Skarsgård, but maybe we should do an episode like movie lineage. You know,
Mm,
fathers,
Nepo babies.
Mm.
Nepo baby episode. So part 1 will be Stellan Skarsgård. Part 2 will be who's the one that's in Bill Skarsgård. The 3 will be,
Peter Skarsgård.
Peter Skarsgård and Tommy Boy Skarsgård and John Boy and all the rest, Cubby, all the rest of them. So that was our synopsis according to Glip. We'll be right back after a short break, and we're going to be playing some promos from some of our podcast friends. But when we come back, our main segment will be sci-fi films that got it right. We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I do have to take a leak.
All right, go for it. Kevin and I will handle all the comments in the meantime.
I got my silly putty. Man, I have no idea why I have to play with this, but I sit here and it's like I got to do something.
I'm over here like I'm like doing social media and
So
reading notes.
We are starting a pixelation project in my filmmaking class, and I had all my students go out with their cell phones today and just do snaps of them trying to get the pixelation process down. So tonight I actually have to take all the shit because I had them all airdrop it to my laptop. I got to take all their crap, put it into Final Cut Pro, and I'm thinking I'm going to use the Benny Hill. Yeah, exactly.
Can't think of it. Oh, it's gonna bother me now because I know the name of the song. It's I know it as the Benny Hill theme, but it actually has an actual name. Benny Hill. It's called Yakety Sax.
Yakety Sax?
Yakety Sax, because it's a saxophone playing in the background.
Do you think that's public domain? Is that something I could find on YouTube Studios?
Possible.
Yakety
It's possible because it's been out for a while. That song. I mean, that's not. The artist's name is Boots Randolph. Yakety
Dude,
Sax.
by the way, this is really
that beer.
good. Yeah,
that's the
Backwoods Bastard. Backwoods Bastard by Founders. It's really fucking good, and it's fucking strong. I'm feeling it already. I didn't have a big dinner.
There's like 100 fucking Benny Hill theme videos on YouTube. I'm sure you can use it. I want that to be my my answering service song when people call my office. I left one off my list just because I thought you would want to use it. Was Interstellar.
I was thinking of Interstellar. I just watched The Martian, and I really felt that I mean that seems the most accurate. You know,
it's the one I chose because I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
But like we can just go through.
No, I could do Interstellar. And because I actually want to bring up the fact that the consultation, the physicist, the astrophysicist who Nolan consulted on it, would not agree to help with the film if they did not portray it, though, if they made it too much movie magic and less actual science, you know?
Yeah. How you feeling, Mike? Feel like a new man?
I feel like that thing. What do I feel? I don't know. I feel
sober. I don't feel sober. Mike feels sober. I'm feeling pretty fucking good.
really. You're gonna put it in my face again.
All right,
Then
that's it. Dishonor on your whole family. You, your cow.
I think we have another watcher, boys.
Really?
Yes,
This says 3 people now.
it might. It's the hottest watcher of all of our watchers.
we got Molly.
Your wife watching?
Yes, my wife is watching.
We've had 3 watchers. I'm the 3rd watcher for a while.
Is
So,
Adrian
anyway.
watching?
Adrian's at work.
She can't watch at work.
No, she can't watch at work. She won't be home till like 9:30.
Ask me if Katie's watching.
Katie watching?
Katie only watches if she sits on the couch behind me and talks to me from in the background. She's in bed.
How's she feeling?
She had a migraine when she came home today, so she's laying down.
Gentlemen, somebody waved at us in the chat.
Hey, look at this. Watch.
Megan.
Megan!
Well, at least we know the chat works.
Yep.
We are back from our short break, and we're talking about our main segment, sci-fi films that get it right. Instead of going through like a full list like we would normally do with segments like this, each of us is going to kind of pick out some movies that we feel are pretty scientifically accurate, or like ones that we really enjoy watching, and just kind of talk about why they're scientifically accurate, and what makes them so enjoyable. So I'm stealing the first one because I really like this movie and I want to take it before anybody else does. And it is The Martian, starring Matt Damon. One of my Matt Damon, one of my favorite redheads, Jessica Chastain. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it. Sean Bean's in it, and he doesn't die.
What?
Mara?
Jeff Daniels is actually in this one. Kate Mara is in it. Sebastian Stan, Childish Gambino's in it. I mean, there's a million people in this movie. It is as scientifically accurate as a movie about Mars can be. The author of the book that it's based on, Andy Weir, worked for NASA, so he has some background in this. It was held up by Neil deGrasse Tyson, who often gives his opinions on these sci-fi films as being a very scientifically accurate film. The one thing that is not accurate about the film, and the author says that he regrets it, but it was necessary for the story, is the sandstorm that knocks out the communications at the beginning of the film and forces them to abandon the site. He's like, the sandstorms on Mars are not that bad because there's very little atmosphere.
Yeah, I would think that kind of wind,
Right.
what's generating that wind, or
that wouldn't really exist. But for the purposes of the story, it was necessary in order to have him left alone. But everything else from there, like from the things he does to survive, to growing the plants on Mars, to the stuff that the Jet Propulsion Laboratory has to do in order to save him, all of it is pretty damn accurate, and it's a really it's a fun movie too. I mean, according to the Golden Globes, it was a comedy. It was the comedy of the year.
Yeah, Matt Damon gave a regular one-man stand-up routine, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining film in the sense that it did have some humor in it, but for the most part, it was it's a high-stakes drama, and I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
it's to me that's like a really, really true definition of like a rewatchable film. Like I can watch it a lot and not be tired of it.
I agree. I every time I watch, I look for something that I missed before. I like the problem solving that you see between Matt Damon being on Mars and the rest of the workers at NASA trying to figure out what they're doing to try to make the connection between the two. You know, like when Matt Damon, when they're trying to communicate with Matt Damon, and it's like it's down to like a yes or no type of thing that goes back and forth to the point where he actually constructs a way of communicating with letters and stuff. So that, I mean, I enjoy the movie.
I also like the video confessional stuff he does. Because it's like it's a good way of explaining to the audience what's happening without it making it seem like the audience is too dumb to understand.
Right. It's not blatant exposition just for the sake of
No.
exposition. It's like he's also trying to keep himself sane. You know,
Yeah.
he's the only man on the planet that's
that little recording device is his Wilson.
yeah.
I do love. I mean, that's where a lot of the humor comes in too. Like when he's talking about how he's a space pirate, and you know he has colonized Mars by growing potatoes on it and stuff like that. So when he blows himself up, and he's like, "I'm dipping my potato in Vicodin, and nobody can stop me." So, Kev, do you want to pick the next one?
I'm going to go because I think the movie I'm going to tell you about is equally plausible. And that is Deep Impact. I know you know where you thought I was going.
I thought I had an idea where you were going, but I'm not surprised by this one either. And I think we mentioned it last week that like of this and its twin film Armageddon.
Yeah.
This is the one you go to for science.
Yes, this is the one that you feel
you can't drill through an asteroid.
No,
yeah, because it's more scientifically plausible to teach drillers how to be astronauts than astronauts how to drill.
You can't generally off the side of an asteroid and just go flying and then fire out a grapple hook to get yourself back down to the asteroid.
Yes, I can.
That's what they needed on that rover that was, with the Russian guy.
I don't want to go too far into talking about Armageddon since it's not the film we're talking about here. But
it is
have
not.
you ever listened to the director's commentary on it? Because it's a Michael Bay film, so it's going to be crazy. So Michael Bay and Ben Affleck are doing the commentary, and Affleck actually turns to him and says, "Michael, don't you think it would have been easier to teach the astronauts to drill than teach the drillers how to be astronauts?" And Michael Bay's response is, "Fuck off, Ben." So getting back to
my movie,
the scientific accurate one, yeah.
It was. It's a great movie. It's a movie of what would happen if an asteroid were to find itself propelling itself towards Earth. What resources do we have to kind of avoid that thing? What's feasible, what's not feasible. And I think they also landed on the asteroid too, didn't they? Broke it into two pieces, made it a little bit smaller, and then I'm sorry if I'm giving things away, and I really don't.
I don't. I know they send a ship up to try to do something like that. Like Robert Duvall's the captain of it.
Right.
I don't think. Are they successful? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this.
So what happens is they send up rockets to try to blow it to bits. Nothing happens. They send up a ship that needs to get in to put a nuclear warhead into the asteroid to blow it from the center out, which would cause it to like break into pieces and just burn up on entry. Something goes wrong. They are unable to break it in the way that they hoped for. And instead, they get two pieces of the asteroid. Right.
Bless you.
Thank you. And both are hurtling themselves towards Earth. They can't get rid of both at the same time, but they can get rid of the more destructive one by putting themselves in the path of it with the warhead that they have, or with the things that they have on their ship, which they do to eliminate the one asteroid. The second one ends up coming to Earth and doing some massive damage. All the while, the people of Earth are trying to make it to win the lottery to get into these deep caverns built into mountainsides, right? to try to save what they can of humanity. And I think that's the part that really comes to, like, yes, there would be a lottery. Not everyone's going to be saved. People will have to make choices. Would people even know about it? That is even a better question. But I feel that handled that whole situation much more accurately than, say, Armageddon, and has inspired me to build my own bomb shelter in my backyard.
Molly's digging it out for you, right?
Damn it, Molly! The bathroom's over here.
I think the like underground bunker thing is more plausible too than, like, say, the movie 2012, where people are trying to get on these like colony ships to leave the, like, where the fuck did they come from? Like, so Mike, you want to take the next one?
I'll take one. Mine's a little different. It's not as nowadays you wouldn't call it sci-fi, but when it came out, you could it's kind of sci-fi.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with Jurassic Park
Okay.
because back when it came out, genetic engineering wasn't where it's at nowadays, but it's getting very close to that now. You know, you can splice different genes and stuff, and they're growing creatures.
I mean, you can 3D print limbs now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's really the science that's gotten out there, and they get, they brought Dolly into this world. So
I had read something recently that there's scientists who are looking to clone a woolly mammoth because they found
they found
a mummified body in like Siberia or something that still had good DNA, and they were going to like splice it with like an elephant, which is like its most closest descendant,
right,
and try to reproduce the woolly mammoth. So yeah, it's not necessarily. I mean, 1993, it might have seemed like far off science, but here we are.
why do a woolly mammoth? Why don't we do something more closer to being, gone extinct earlier? Something,
I think it's just to kind of see if they can do it because it's the first, it's the most well preserved specimen that they found.
Well, to quote the movie, your scientists were too busy wondering if they could do it to see if they should do it.
We have woolly mammoths running rampant.
Personally, I feel that if they were to clone the dodo bird, which was alive when we were around, not when we were around, but like humans. I mean, I guess the woolly mammoth was around when humans were around too, but you know what I'm saying. The dodo just went extinct within the past 100 years, and we have to have material from that particular bird stuffed somewhere in a natural science museum that we could clone, and what would be the problem with bringing that one back?
Yeah, like you'd need viable samples. Like the thing that makes the woolly mammoth a possibility is it was a preserved specimen. I think if it wasn't for that, I don't think they would have been thinking about it that much. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, why can't we bring back I don't know, what is another extinct animal? Like the white rhino was on
the white rhino, yeah.
White rhino's on the verge of extinction right now. Like, let's increase the population.
Yep, exactly.
All right. What do I want to go with next? I'm going to go with this movie because I just watched it recently. I'd never seen it before. But I saw it come up on a couple of these lists, and I was like, I'm going to check this out considering it keeps coming up on the list. It's called Gattaca.
Yeah.
It came out in 98, I want to say, 97. It stars Jude Law, Ethan Hawke, and Uma Thurman. And it takes place in like the near future where genetic alterations are now like a thing, and you can genetically alter your child to make sure that they grow up the way you want them to. So they would have like the right characteristics, and they would be strong, and they would be all this stuff. And in this society, there's the race of people who are altered, and there's people who are born naturally. And the people who are born naturally are looked at as like less than perfect,
inferior.
And, yeah, they're the ones given like the menial jobs, whereas the genetically enhanced people get all like the special jobs. And Ethan Hawke plays one of the normal people born naturally who wants to be an astronaut but can't be because he's considered inferior. he steals the identity of somebody who is considered superior, and like steals like their DNA and things like that in order to like keep impersonating this person to get what he wants. The thing that kind of makes it realistic is that genetic in 1997, it's didn't seem like like it would be possible to be able to do that sort of things. It's like a eugenics kind of thing, but now it's totally possible. The idea of a designer baby is not out of the realm of belief at this point. Right now, it's probably like something like only rich people can do, but the procedure is there. Like you can choose the sex of your baby, manipulate the genetic code and shit like that now. So we're getting closer to actually being a Gattaca.
I know of people who have gone through like treatments for, IVF and help with, conceiving. And that is actually part of it now is like, we test the genes, we test the chromosomes to see what would come, what's viable, what's not viable, because we want the highest success rate, possible for you. So it's like we're living it, that's just part of the process now.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's cool and scary all at the same time. Just like the Jurassic Park thing.
Exactly.
Would I like to see a live dinosaur? Yes. Would I want to be near one? No.
Do you want to see a baby come out of an egg and they're like, "What did you breed here?" These are marks. You bred marks here. It's like,
we bred Kevmans here. Oh shit!
The little Kevman.
Don't get your fingers near its mouth. It can't stop.
So, Kev, you want to take the next one then?
Yes. Next one I'm going to go with is Her. Starring
who?
Joaquin Phoenix, and the voice that Mike yearns to listen to, which is what's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. And considering how far we've come just recently with AI, now watching the movie Her, which is 10 years old at this point, it does not seem like this is going to be that far off. Joaquin Phoenix is a lonely divorcee, and he purchases this new computer program, which is intuitive and unique and interactive, and he holds conversations and has deep, questions that he wants to talk to her about, and it's very conversational. It's really like almost like a pen pal, I guess, because there's no real possibility of meeting, but you can still communicate.
It's like falling in love with a sexier version of Siri.
Right. But she begins to grow. She begins to, she develops emotions, which I think is the end of humanity, is if we have computer programs that can mimic or generate their own emotional responses to things.
Fucking Skynet, man. It's fucking Skynet.
Are you picking Terminator then, Mike?
No, I'm not.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's the one you got next then?
Well, I talked about this earlier off air, but so I'm just
Finding Nemo.
I'm just going with Star Trek.
Star Trek. Mike's like, fuck these lists. I know Star Trek's not on any of them, but Star Trek is real to me.
Well, not just it's real to me. I mean, think of and I know it's mostly the television series, but a lot of the shit we have now is because of Star Trek.
I totally agree.
I mean, even their talks of how wormholes are, they're talking about that now, and physicists are talking about shit like that now, and come out with theories about it. So, Star Trek's got the science right.
I agree, man. Look, they had the communicators in the original series were cell phones. The communicator badges from the next generation. We all have, headphones or headsets now. Bluetooth. The tablets that they use to pass along information. We have iPads and other such things. I'm just waiting on that fucking transporter.
Even like the ship's computer is kind of like a Siri.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they constantly
even their consoles is like what you have in your classroom now.
Touch screen, yeah.
Touch screen stuff, yeah. No, I agree. I'm just fucking with you, but I agree. Like it's like a lot of sci-fi is like that, where like these sci-fi writers and TV shows, like they make conjectures on these future things, and then eventually they kind of come to pass anyway.
Because I want that and make it.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like somebody had the idea, then somebody was like, "Well, this should be a real thing." They go through the science to make it a real thing. It's introduced to life, and then we build off of that. Even what did I see? It wasn't a true holodeck, but it was a either augmented reality or virtual reality headset. But you walk, but you walk on this. You walk on this plank. You walk on this piece.
I saw what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like a treadmill.
Right, it's like a treadmill that moves it's omnidirectional. You can walk in different directions and walk through the VR reality or the AR reality that you're going through.
Yeah, so I mean that's another step closer to the holodeck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show on, I want to say it was like Discovery or one of those, with this physicist. His name was Mikio Kaku. He's a Japanese physicist, but he would do these. He did this show where it was like proving Star Trek right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how can we have some of these things? And he did an episode on the transporter,
mm-hmm.
and it was kind of frightening because his whole conjecture and the science behind it was, you're not actually transporting yourself. You're cloning yourself, sending the clone to the destination, and then killing the original.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the
scary. We're doing the prestige. It was a prestige. Yeah, it was kind of scary.
It's got the science right. Christopher Nolan gets the science right again.
Yeah. So to play off of Kevin's last pick and the AI stuff, I'm going with Ex Machina next.
Oh yeah.
Ex Machina stars Oscar Isaac, Donald Gleason, and Alicia Vikander. Alicia Vikander is a robot named Ava, who is built to be as realistically human as possible. So Ex Machina is a pretty gorgeously filmed sci-fi movie that is also kind of accurate, because the conundrum about the AI robot Ava and her creator is a test that goes back to the 1950s called the Turing test, which is used to determine if a computer can be indistinguishable from a human. Like, how human can a computer be? At this point, no computer has passed the Turing test in real life, but it's getting closer and closer to being a possibility that you'll have an AI smart enough to come across as human.
Don't you kind of shut that shit down at that point?
This is what all these fucking movies are warning us about. Mike just said it. It's fucking Skynet.
Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Push it to the edge. Push it to the edge. Oh shit, we fell over the edge.
Oh no, push it. Oh, it's the fucking Matrix.
Take it back.
It's the Matrix. We're all batteries now. So, Kev, you want to choose another one?
Yes, I do. One of my favorite directors did this one back in 2014. Movie I'm thinking of is Interstellar from Christopher Nolan.
That's the one I thought you were going to pick first.
I know. I wanted to throw you for a loop or two. So Earth is dying. Surprise, because we all do so well at listening to each other when the science says we're fucking shit up. And they decide to look for another habitable planet, going through a wormhole to see if they can find something where they can save humanity. What you realize about wormholes is it distorts or displaces time and space for those who travel near it or through it. And what I liked about this movie, and I realized this after watching it, that in early pre-production, they used this Dr. Kip Thorne, astrophysicist, I believe. He put down 2 guidelines to helping Christopher Nolan with the movie. First was that nothing would violate established laws of physics. and that all the wild speculations would spring out of science. You couldn't make something happen just because it solves a plot hole problem. You couldn't just generate something for the sake of the movie. And Christopher Nolan accepted the terms as long as they didn't get in the way of his making of the movie. At one point, Thorne spent 2 weeks talking to Nolan about an idea about traveling faster than the speed of light. So I think in pre-production, there may have been like extensive conversations as to what they could and could not get away with in the movie. It was a very, very interesting movie, though. Something I enjoyed.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm all about all the Chris Nolan films anyway. So, so Mike, you got one more?
I do not. I did not get a lot of time to speak.
I did not understand the assignment.
No, it's fine.
The assignment is just I've been busy.
Yeah, I hear you. Mike is, as we said before, Mike's on call, and he almost didn't make it to tonight's show, so we can throw him a pass for that, man. I mean,
he could have participated through the live chat.
Yeah, he could have live chatted while you were working. Yeah.
while I'm driving, through Philly. Thank you.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw
from anybody else in Philly driving.
So I'm just gonna throw a few like honorable mentions out there because we did talk about a lot of movies already tonight. A couple more that I had on my list were one is a very little seen movie from 2009 called Moon. Stars Sam Rockwell.
Was that a horror movie?
It's like not really a horror movie, but it's kind of like it's upsetting because there's like a twist to it. But it's not like necessarily a horror movie. It's just kind of more like existential terror because it's about a guy who's living on the moon, mining an element called helium-3 on the dark side of the moon, but he's there by himself and he's been there for like 4 years. And he's getting down to like the last days of his mission. And he's starting to get like loopy from being alone all this time. And, he's looking forward to go back to Earth. The thing that's realistic about it is the mining of helium-3. It's an actual element on the moon, and it's something that NASA is working on doing one day, is going to the moon and mining this resource.
You mean like that rocket we just landed and it tipped over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And all the solar panels are blocked. I am here, but I will not live very long. I'm a little drunk from the journey.
And
this movie is so accurate that scientists, engineers, and aspiring astronauts are often shown the film as a way of showing them about not only some of the technical aspects of it, but like the isolation of being in space. I'm not going to give away the twist for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's a really awesome movie. We have Arrival, which is a recent film, stars Amy Adams. It's a Denis Villeneuve film about aliens coming down and communicating with us. One of those few movies where the aliens are peaceful. It's the way in which they communicate and how they perceive time that's kind of the accurate part of the film, because time is not linear, it's circular, and this film kind of ties it together. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Yeah. So you got Arrival. 2001: Space Odyssey is a classic, and it's a very accurate film considering we hadn't even landed on the moon yet when this movie came out.
And we will have AI that tries to kill us, just like Hal did.
Yeah, just like Hal did. Yeah.
Don't forget about how the science was right in Mac and me.
Kevin Iris had mentioned a few of these in the pre-show, like movies like Andromeda Strain, Contagion, and Outbreak, which are all about pandemics. And
pandemics don't happen in real life.
Yeah,
they don't.
We already know about the reality of that. We all know about the reality of that already. So those are some pretty accurate films. And I'm looking at this one list. Screen Rant has Apollo 13 on their list of sci-fi films that get it right. I'm sorry, Screen Rant, but Apollo 13 is not a science fiction film. It fucking happened.
It's not fiction.
So wait a minute.
It's not science fiction if it happened.
On the way
it's a science fact.
Guys, that means the way they're thinking means Oppenheimer should be on this list then.
Yeah, if you're looking at it as sci-fi, then Oppenheimer on the list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read one more, Mike, just because I know you were tickled by this one earlier. Finding
Let's-
Nemo,
I thought you were going to
2003
say
Finding
Contact.
Nemo. Contact. Well, Contact's another one too. It's
Yeah.
pretty scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo it was on multiple lists. We were all kind of surprised by this. But it
Fish
says that
talk.
the Pixar team hired marine biologists as consultants to walk them through the designing of the seaflora, the swimming mechanics, and even some of the social behaviors of the fish. For example, the tropical fish occasionally do wind up in the Sydney Harbor in the summertime after they are carried away by the East Australian current. So a lot of like the mechanics of the underwater life were pretty accurate.
So dory fish are really
Tubular,
that
tubular.
There's dory fish have no memory, and there's a giant manta ray that teaches the little kids elementary school shit. And she is a
squid
natural
ink
blue.
And
squid-
clownfish really aren't funny.
No.
There was one more on the list, and I understand this is kind of a big stretch for science fiction. It was Minority Report.
Yeah.
It's not so much the empaths and the ability to see a crime before it happens. I'm not sure about that, but the idea of marketing and commercializing. Spielberg looked into that stuff to see if this was a possibility. And when you look at our computers and the algorithms that get written for everything that we type into our search bars, and how everything then becomes catered to what were we just looking at, and then you look at Minority Report, where they scan the retina of your eye and be like, "Oh, hello, I remember that you had purchased this. Would you like to get a follow up of whatever?" It's like, yo, that's we're at the Fred Flintstone stages of that right now.
No, you, Kevin, you
and
purchased porn. Do you want more?
that's what incognito mode's for. And that's when we get to the Jetson stage. When we get to the Jetson stage of it, that's when it's going to be the scanning of the retinas to show you that stuff. I do think that they thought Nokia would be a bigger name than it actually is right now. Considering how Nokia was a great cell phone for when that movie came out. Just couldn't catch up with the smartphone.
I like
race.
the you talk about like the touchscreens I have in my classroom. Like that's kind of a Minority Report thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have that shit that he's always moving around with his hands and all
He's
that.
moving
Like,
around, and I feel that that's something that's essentially augmented reality. It's just augmented reality without the visor on. It's really just moving things around that way.
If we're going to do that, I want Tony Stark's reality.
Yeah,
I want
where you can
yeah,
throw things out. And,
that's the one I want.
They also have self-driving cars in Minority Report. We're getting closer to that too.
Yeah, they are on magnetic tracks, which I think would cut down on a lot of traffic situations. Dude, I could not tell you how happy I would be to get into my car just for the ride and let the traffic just kind of do its own thing.
Considering how far I drive to get to work every day, I'd love to be able to take a nap on my way there.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it now, and then the car just veers off the road. It's terrible.
All that screaming, it just keeps me up.
Wish I had an R2 unit in my car. He can drive.
You'd use them as a coffee maker.
Mike, I know it's last minute, but do you have any beer trivia or history for us this evening?
I got a beer fun fact for you boys. I got all this stuff ready earlier in the week, so
you didn't pre-game the main segment, but you did your fucking beer history.
This takes like 5 or 10 minutes, research studies conclude that men in their 70s and 80s who drank a beer a day were clearer thinkers than non-drinkers.
What about guys in their 40s that drink like 3 or 4 a night?
You're drunk every night. You can't think clearly. Come on now.
I drank like 4 or 5 at Quizzo the other night, and I was a little mentally challenged afterward.
Are we getting on the turnpike? Yes, we're getting on the turnpike.
Yeah.
No. I could have found my way here easier. I don't think you could have.
No, I could have. I was fine by then. I was drinking that triple espresso at that point, and that was good. How are your drinks this evening? I know Kev, you said that one beer was really good.
That one beer was very good. I'm going to have to see if Founders, because it's part of a barrel aged series. But the Backwood Bastard was very good. I enjoyed that, and I had since moved on to a quarter for the jukebox. I'm jonesing to hear "Wind Beneath My Wings," which sounds like something Deadpool would say.
I was like, to me, it sounded like an evil genius brew.
Yeah, it is. Where are they out of? North Haven, Connecticut. It's the oatmeal stout with vanilla, and it's 6% alcohol by volume. This is actually pretty good too.
I was drinking the Old Smoky Cinnamon Moonshine, which is a little spicy, but that's okay. Dune's coming out this week, so spice must flow.
You are a little spicy.
Yeah, and Mike, how was your redneck coffee?
Almost gone.
Almost gone.
Yeah.
So you're holding up the Four Roses bottle. Is that what you're looking forward to?
Yeah. Well, that's been sitting here since the last time I had 4 Roses. Back upstairs.
Mike's like, he's prepared for the next time he can.
I'm
drink.
yearning.
The thing is that my buddy Pat, good listener, friend of the show, Pat.
Yeah.
He should be in the chat right now, don't you think?
He
next time.
He's on call next week, but couldn't do the weekend, so we switched weekends. So as of tonight, after tonight, I'm done on call for the weekend. But I got next weekend, which is good timing for me since Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out today. So I'll be playing
your weekend set.
At least tomorrow's set.
4 Roses and Final Fantasy.
At least tomorrow's set when I get home. That's for sure.
So, what are we going to do next week? We should have planned this before we went live.
Skarsgård!
You want to do an episode on the Skarsgård?
No.
Here, I got a director episode suggestion. The career of John McTiernan.
McTiernan.
I'm going to give you 3 movies that he did in a 4-year span, and you'll know who I'm talking about. Between 1988 and 1991, he did, in a row, Predator, Die Hard, and Hunt for Red October.
Wow.
Those are just 3 movies that he did.
Okay.
Not saying we have to do that next week.
No. It's not a bad idea.
An idea for down the road. What's coming up? Anything coming up soon?
St. Patty's Day is in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 17th.
That week, we'll revisit The Quiet Man.
Revisiting The Quiet Man.
Revisiting The Quiet Man. Loudly remembering
Irish movies.
Loudly remembering The Quiet Man again. When's the Oscars? The
Oscars are next Sunday.
Are they next Sunday?
They are the 10th.
March 10th?
No, June 10th. Yes, March 10th. Next Sunday.
I didn't realize next Sunday was March 10th. So why don't we do an Oscar episode?
Okay, works for me.
We'll do an Oscar preview episode. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight for episode 142, Sci-Fi Films That Got It Right. We hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Remember, you can drop us an email at filmsoffermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsoffermentation. Find all our social media and podcast links. Become part of the Films of Fermentation family by supporting us on Patreon or buying our merchandise at teespring.com. You could also go to deluxeeditionnetwork.com to visit us and all of the Deluxe Edition Network podcasts at The Den. Don't forget to stop by the crossroads between Pickled and Fermented next time around for episode 143. The Oscars are coming up on Sunday, March 10th. Our next episode will be a few days. Yeah, our next episode will be recorded a couple days before that. So we're going to give our conjectures for who's going to be winning the Oscars this year, a little Oscar preview. So don't forget to join us for that. Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
You've been listening to the Films and Fermentation podcast. Cheers, everyone.
Live.
Bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Mike's having fun with his soundboard tonight.
Yeah.
His soundboard is on fleek. The kids still say that, on fleek.
As the kids say. Yeah.
As the kids say.
It's got Riz.
It's coming through loud and clear now, Mike.
I don't know what's happening. If I end the stream now,
the other platform, it was not that great.
Because I'm new at this program, I'm not sure if I end the stream if it's gonna knock you guys off or not. So we're still kind of live right now. Figured I could edit it out later.
We're still here.
We're still here. Go home. The movie's over. So, you guys got anything going on this weekend?
The next one, we're just gonna have cable.
I don't know what's going on yet. We're discussing stuff for Saturday, but it's supposed to be a shitty weekend.
Saturday's supposed to
all
rain.
next week is supposed to be warm but cloudy. So
yeah. Sunday's supposed to be cloudy and warm, but not like rainy. Saturday's supposed to rain all day.
All right, so we'll see.
Katie was, we might try to do something maybe this weekend. I don't know, but
I might go out tomorrow to celebrate the first day of Women's History Month. But
where are you gonna go to that? The strip club? I'm gonna head on out to the fantasy show bar, get a little titty hug. maybe taking a shower show. I don't know.
Wow.
Good night, everyone. Happy Women's History Month.
Well, don't worry. Because I think I'm the only one in the chat left.
Megan left a while ago, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, she just said hi and then left.
I don't even think you two are in the chat left.
I am still, but
I was up until about a second ago. So
I am going to end it here then, and I'll talk to you guys later in case we get cut off.
Yep.
Okay.
And see you later.
See.